Welcome to Startup RealTalk with your host, Kristina Karcic, where we are real talk, real stories, and real inspiration for your professional and personal journey. I am the founder of Karcic Partners, your fractional HR on demand, where HR isn't a cost center, it's your capital protection. I am really excited to be able to introduce to you all Amorliz Arce, founder and fractional CFO of ZilaRoma Solutions. Amorliz comes to us with over 25 years of financial expertise. She is an incredible human whose story is quite inspirational, coming to the US as an immigrant and as a very young child. Her experience has absolutely framed the incredible person and journey that she went on as of today. Today's session is going to be focused on an inspirational journey that has led to a highlighting a very pressing need for the next generation, financial literacy. We will dive in to learn more about the importance of teaching this skill early on. Now, let's get down to business. Welcome, Amorliz. Is there anything I did not say that you'd like to add?
Thank you, Kristina, for that warm welcome. And thank you, everyone, for joining us who's seeing this today. Yes, you covered a lot of things, but I would love to just give you a quick introduction about a couple of things that I'm currently working on. So, as Kristina mentioned, my name is Amorliz Arce. I'm the founder and CEO of ZilaRoma. I do have 25 years of experience in finance, accounting, and business management. I started my small business this year with a focus on three main pillars. One of them is the fractional CFO services for small businesses. Two is the individual and corporate taxes, financial analysis for individuals and also small businesses. And three, promoting financial education for the community through our social media channels. I also published my first children's finance book, Lena, Ahmad, and the Secret Piggy Bank, which is part of a 10-book collection under the ZilaRoma Kids Finance series. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm so excited to jump into this and start getting into the details of where specifically as we talk about financial literacy for the next generation. So I'm going to kick off. What inspired you to write a children's book about financial literacy?
Well, I am an immigrant from Ecuador, and I came to the U.S. when I was 10 years old with my family. I first saw firsthand how important this financial literacy topic was. I saw how many families struggled with money simply. They were never taught the basics, right? Working in Fortune 500 companies like Prudential, I realized how important this topic was. And it really resonated with me on how I wanted to continue to empower families of this magnitude to continue to do that for them. So this is, I'm sorry, and this is actually where the ZilaRoma Kids Finance series came to light. It was born out of that purpose. I wanted to make sure that there were enough money lessons for children, and we taught them diverse and fun ways to learn about money. And with that, also bringing in the families to learn how to manage money throughout, their lifetime.
I love it. We all know that US has an issue with this, right? I mean, we look at the overwhelming statistics of adults being in some type of, financial burden, whether it be from student loans to credit card debt. It's something that I don't think many of us were prepared to enter into. And especially when you turn 18 and you start getting all these offers, right? I get a discount here, let me sign up. But it's really, really a critical aspect in being successful. So I really appreciate that and I love that. So if we can focus in on a core lesson you hope kids and their parents can take away from, what would it be?
I think the biggest lesson is to make sure that money is more about intention and that it's just not math, right? You want kids to learn that saving, spending, and also sharing are everyday topics that are covered at home with the parents. I think that the education has to start in homes. In schools, we don't do enough about that. We don't do enough financial education. And I think, going through high school, the first time I heard about the topic about finance was literally, I think, my junior or senior year when we're talking about accounting or finance. So that is way too late for us to start learning about money. So I think with having families and bringing these topics of money to kids, I think they should start with just continuous, simple topics about money so that kids are able to learn that and continue to bring that forward for their kids in the future as well.
I love that. And you said something really important, because I'll call out where my kids go to school, Weehawken Township, and I do love, they actually offer a financial, it's not offer, it's a requirement to take a financial literacy course, which is really great. They take it, I think it's like their 8th grade freshman year. But you brought up something that is so critical, and that is really changing, you're actually changing a habit. So learning about it one time, although there'll be items that like might resonate, the kids might take from it, the truth of the matter is it's just like leadership development or any of those other types of trainings we do. If you don't actually practice it, reinforce it, and exactly as you said, constantly speak about it doesn't really have the impact. And although it was a great course, some of it was above their heads, right? Because it's all about that practical learning and how do you apply it. And so I really love the power behind the message that you're sending, and being able to equip parents with a resource that's so critical. And again, like any type of habit, it's practice, it's reinforcement, which all come with what you're presenting right now. So I think that's really, really exciting. Um,
Thank you.
okay.
Definitely.
So, how early do you think we should start teaching kids about money, and what should we teach first?
I think that you can start teaching your children as old as young as 4 or 5 years old with
Wow.
very basic topics. And this is where, with the Lina and Ahmad series, we started with like teaching them about saving, right? Because that's the most important thing first, like saving in a little piggy bank. And then we're building the stories within these books. Like we're continuing with needs versus wants. And I'm going to teach a little bit more about entrepreneurship, right? And I think it just that as long as you continue to give any type of topic to your children, it doesn't it just continues to give that reinforcement and make sure that the money is not a taboo. Like I think we're taught um or weren't taught like not to talk about money ever. Like with my family, we never talked about it. It was always bad. It was always a bad story. So I think is if we make this into a positive, continue to reinforce that with kids and give them examples that money doesn't grow on trees, but you have to have patience. A little bit at a time, you're going to be able to acquire the wealth that you want by working hard and continuing to learn more about how to get that money and financial freedom.
Amazing. And you heard my honest response when you said, 4 to 5. It's like, wait, what? Wow. But as you continue to speak, it makes so much sense, because at the end of the day, as a parent, your children are going to model your behaviors. So at 4 or 5, I mean, first and foremost, let's keep it real. These kids are way smarter than we were, it's
Yes,
not science. And that's just not us making speculation. That's actual truth. And so they're observant and they're watching
exactly.
everything. So you're brilliant. I think this is amazing. I wish it was around when my kids were small, to be honest. Probably could have learned something too.
Yes, mine as well. I guess we just put it to practice, but it's good that we're able to learn that now.
Exactly, I agree. So during your time at Prudential, how did it influence your perspective on financial education for the next generation?
So working at Prudential, as many of you know, it is a Fortune 500 firm. I worked with many people in the industry for 19 years, right? And it taught me how powerful financial education can be in building generational wealth, right? That's a key point. I learned from many incredible peers, and I saw had firsthand, right? As a Latina immigrant, I started with nothing. So being able to see how they were going through, many in my peers having generational wealth and having that community to help them get there, I realized that there was a big need in my community. So this is why I created the ZilaRoma Kids Finance series, right? It's really helps the kids, but now I also created social media channels where I teach some of these finance topics that I've learned. So like just bringing a little bit of all the 25 years that I have, one piece at a time, because this information is difficult to grasp when you're not on a finance side. But I try to convey the message in very simple message in short videos so people are able to um, look at one topic at a time. We're talking about budgeting, financial analysis. We're talking about like some of your 401ks. What do you do with that? So that's where the social media channels come in to help individuals that don't have that information.
That's amazing. First, I do want to applaud you for staying at an organization for longer than 2 years, which is a complete rarity, right? And I love that you put the focus on generational wealth because I don't think we necessarily talk about that enough. And it's a critical element, right? And it's going to allow your children to advance further by making that investment. And I can say, Amorliz and I have known each other for many, many years, and she is a phenomenal mother. It's really great to see her children and how they flourished, one going into medical school next year and the other one being an entrepreneur. And through your guidance, not forcing him to go to college, but him recognizing, yeah, you know what, I need this to elevate myself. So by the way, this is coming from somebody who practices what they preach and really has done a phenomenal job with her family. So just wanted to bring that part because I think it's critical. It's not just talk, it's a lot of action.
Mhm.
So thank you.
I appreciate that, Kristina.
Of course, you're amazing. And I'm just lucky to be able to learn from you. How does your creative side fuel you as a CFO and an entrepreneur?
My creative side actually fuels everything I do as a CFO currently and an entrepreneur, right? Finance is often seen as numbers and spreadsheets and bean counted, like the accountants, we're known as bean counters, right? But at its core, I would say finance is more about problem solving and knowing how to tell a story, right? So we help people make sense of their money and make sure that we help them analyze in a simple way to create a story of what that family is going to have for the future to have a better future. By writing the children's books, I had the ability to simplify all of those different finance topics that sometimes are complex into very short, fun, creative stories, just so that people, the kids are able to understand it and take that messaging with them, right? And then with ZilaRoma, I was able to create different pieces where I can help individuals with, and also small businesses with their cash flow needs, or with guiding a family through budgeting, or how to, set up their taxes for for end of the year, for example. So I approach that with creativity, but then also use at the same time all the finance knowledge that I have from previous years.
Amazing. And I can say that at Karcic Partners, we benefit from you as well, too, as you lead our finances. So,
Thanks.
so amazing. So I do want to leave. Well, there's a couple things. Before I ask the last question that I ask, I think it's really important for anybody watching this. Where can they find you? Because like you mentioned, I believe you're on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, but then also where can they purchase the book?
Oh, thanks for asking that. So basically, if you go on, there's two ways. So my social media channels are all ZilaRoma Solutions or ZilaRoma. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And you can purchase the book on ZilaRoma.com. That's my website. You would head down to the to the piece where it says ZilaRoma Kids Finance Series, or on Amazon.com, just type Lina and Ahmad, and that will pop up. You will get the book right away. We have the two versions in paperback or also the ebook, whichever is your preference, but that's where you'll be able to find them.
Amazing. And Ahmad is spelled
AMAD.
perfect. Thank you. So the last question I have for you is, what advice would you like to leave our audience with today?
I think one of the advice is to just make sure that you continue with your financial education. If even if it's not, if numbers are not your thing, pretty much, just realize that that is part of your day to day life. We want to make sure that our communities are taught that money is not a taboo. We need to make sure that we talk about that with our kids, with our spouses, with our family, with our parents, because we all need to continue to learn and be better at it. So don't beat yourself about it if you don't know now. But I think it's never too late to start, and I think that's where we'll be able to help with that education.
Love it. Thank you. So, for our audience, the key takeaway here is financial literacy doesn't start at 25. By then, you have established your habits, and it's now about reframing your thinking. Instead, create the habits early on, as it's never too early to start. We appreciate your time, and please check us out for our next episode. Take
Thank
care.
you.